My name is Robert Christopher Wayne Weathers. I live in Mississippi. I was born here. I lived in Illinois for, in total, a little over a decade. I went to school in Illinois. I worked there. I had a career there. And I had family there. I have been a victim of Scientology. Aliens. There are more than three dimensions. According to the knowledge that I have from third dimensional science and the observations and experiences that I have, there are at least 11 or 12 dimensions. Let's see, I think 4 layers. Every 3 dimensions creates a layer, and there are 4 layers. So 11 or 12 dimensions in total. We have biology in these extra dimensions. You can't see these dimensions while you are alive. You see them when you're dead in the afterlife. That's what it is used for. So we have biology in these extra dimensions. 11-dimensional biology. 11 dimensions in total. We utilize this biology to have an afterlife. We also use it while we are alive to function and process energy, food, and oxygen, and light. Scientology is the practice of utilizing this extra dimensional biology while you are still alive. They remove it from themselves, and they use technology and techniques to turn it into an upper dimensional vehicle, a biology in which they can drive through the upper dimensions, an upper dimensional biology organism. Humans experience these organisms as aliens. That's what we have experienced when it comes to alien experiences throughout human history. I'll explain the technology in a minute that allows this to happen. So I said that there are this biology presents itself in layers. Every 3 dimensions, there's another layer. Well, Scientologists don't remove the entire biology. So a lot of them do remove a lot of their biology while they are still alive. And they utilize this biology to make one or more upper dimensional vehicles, biologies that can be driven. They like to separate the layers, or I don't know why, but they do. The more you practice, the more biology that gets cut off of you. So you wind up with 3 or 4 biologies or in the upper dimensions that can be utilized or modified and turned into aliens, upper dimensional organisms. But these biologies are incomplete in this state. They are missing organs and tissues. So these Scientologists like to use organs and tissues from other humans and other species as transplants to try to make themselves whole and function properly again. So they take organs and tissues from other humans and other species such as reptiles, lizards, insects, and worms. And there's even experimentation with other species. they use this stolen biology for transplant purposes. So they make various alien forms. There are the blue bloods, the grays, and the greens, which don't have many stolen body parts. That's what the human genome produces. Aliens. It is Anunnaki. Our DNA produces an Anunnaki. Human DNA produces an Anunnaki. I don't know the exact origins. I mean, I know a lot, probably a lot more than a lot of people do. But whenever it gets cut to pieces, it's an alien. It looks like an alien. Very similar to the ones we see in the movies. So these Scientologists produce various alien forms, and then they produce lizard people using lizard body parts, stolen lizard body parts. And I have to emphasize here that there's also another alien that they have named lizard people that don't require stolen lizard body parts. So in the afterlife, we gain special abilities. And part of these abilities is the ability to read and manipulate genetic structure, or genes, DNA. They can read it and understand and understand how it works, and see, read how it works. And they can manipulate DNA on a molecular level. So they can help in the upper dimensions, they can help organisms develop different features. They can help you grow and develop using DNA modification. They can bring out certain features that are encoded in our genome that we normally don't, that is normally not expressed while we are alive, while we are natural, such as the lizard DNA part of our genome. Humans are descendant from lizards way back. It's some kind of amphibian or reptile, but it's in our DNA. And they call these lizard people too. This can give you a snout, change the color of your skin, the thickness, give you certain features. And there may be other species involved too. I don't know. I don't have the evidence to come to that conclusion. All I know is Scientology. That's all I see. Maybe there were intelligent reptiles that lived on this planet in the past that have lived on before Anunnaki. They were here before Anunnakis, which is the human genome. So that's lizard people. I mean, they call all these people lizard people, because a lot of them are. They also they're talking about horsehead people. They never showed themselves to me. I mean, yeah, I see them, but they don't let me see their faces. That's what they told me they were. However, the same horsehead person is also an Anunnaki. So I'll explain that in a minute. There are a few of those too. I think of their Scientology too. They also make insectoids or bug people using bug body parts, insect body parts. I think they like to prey in mantis, or there's all kinds of there are all kinds of different organisms in outer space, aka heaven. We go amongst the stars in death. That's the natural human afterlife experience. And they also make worm people using worm body parts. And they use worm DNA and worm biology in a lot of the aspects of Scientology. I just got death threat. So these upper dimensional organisms are what humans have experienced as aliens. Yes, they are real. They exist. They are not third dimension. They do not drive UFOs. Well, I guess they probably do, but not. They don't. They fly through heaven. We are not designed to drive vehicles. Humans aren't. We fly in the afterlife amongst the stars through outer space. Aliens keep this ability to fly even after the cleaving and the modifications. The healthy ones do. They're also magical, but not as magical as in the Anunnaki. You lose a lot of health and abilities practicing Scientology, trying to go to heaven before your time, because you gain special abilities. It's powerful. You have the ability to see the future, to manipulate the future in the moment, or to manipulate the past in the moment. So right now, in this moment, someone could be messing with the Egyptians, and they are right now in this moment. Or it might have been last night. Some Scientology professional got drunk last night, and went and screwed with the Arabians. Now we got pharaohs and giant pyramids. They do this all throughout time. The last 60 years has been banging. So there have been people that has existed in the last 60 years that have created entire religions, such as Christianity. Christianity is a cover-up. The aliens, or the people in heaven, the gods, or the devils, they don't want humans to know the truth. Yeah, right now, well, I think that was in the past. That probably happened in the 60s or 70s. The Anunnakis were created. Ancient Anunnakis. The Anunnakis that are written in stone. For ancient civilizations, Sumeria, Babylonian. That happened in the last 60 years. Because time is simultaneous. We experience it in the afterlife, and if you practice Scientology, you can interact with the universe in a way in which time is simultaneous. Similar to time travel, but it's not. Yes, a lot of these people are still alive. Yes, this is from my observations, the best I can experience. I'm sick. I've been badly hurt by Scientology. They hurt people. So I guess I need to explain the technology. So first I have to explain some of the properties of our universe. So there is this entanglement property between particles. Between energy. There's an entanglement property in the universe that pertains to our matter. Our third dimension and our inner dimensions are entangled. If you remove any part of your extra-dimensional biology, no matter where you take it in the universe, you are still in it. It's like that funny joke where a guy's holding an ear, someone's ear, and talking in it, thinking he can hear it from a remote location. That's true. To some extent. There's entanglement within our biology. So Scientologists use this ability to, in some of their technology practices. They like to remove brain tissue, specifically the brainstem and their thalamus and their eyes, and sometimes the whole biology, and take it to a compound, buildings or places designed to house biology. It's a storage system, and it is interfaced to a computer system. So they like to take their brain tissue or biology there, and they can interface it to a computer. They interface their brains, central nervous systems, biologies to a computer system. This allows them to experience a hive mind or experience digital immersion while you are still alive. So it allows these people to communicate with each other and interact with each other in the digital landscape. And it also acts as a command center for controlling the rest of your upper dimensional biologies and also surrogates, which I'll explain in a moment. So you can, they like to remove their extra dimensions, take them to this command center or compound, the storage system, and this allows them to drive upper dimensional vehicles, their own and others. So they also have wireless tech, devices that interface to the brain and central nervous system in our biologies. They have it for the third dimension, the origin biology, the one that's still alive, and they also have it for their upper dimensional biologies. Aliens also have implants. Some of these devices record sensory perception input. So they record your sight, your smell, your taste, your touch, your hearing, and even your feeling, if I said them all. They allow other people to experience what you experience. And you can do this from their compounds, their institutions. This is part of their hive mind technology. Also, it's wireless tech. And then some of these devices and these techniques, they artificially stimulate brain and central nervous system tissue. So they can isolate individual memories or thought patterns, neural conditioning, and stimulate this area of the brain. So they can make you experience a memory that you once had. They can isolate it and stimulate it, and you will experience it. It will show up in your visual cortex or whatever. They can also do this with thought patterns. So there are humans have thought patterns we get into. One thought after another, the pattern of thoughts. They can make you irritable or angry. They can even arouse you sexually. They can make you feel certain ways about certain things. And they can even stimulate impulse buying. Like if you have a thought pattern for impulse buying, or they can stimulate that, make you get up and go do it. Yeah. It's a sort of mind control. They do it to themselves also. They control their own minds. So we can do this with our ego boost, delusions of grandeur. Oh yeah, I'm the best, baddest. Humans have this reward system that can be hijacked. Preservision or Yumas, they call it riding the pink dinosaur. That's what I've experienced from them. It's where you're a kid riding a little dinosaur, pink dinosaur, and it's dancing in a circle. You dance around, spin around in a circle and wink. Like, whoa, I'm awesome. You get a loot because you're dancing. Yeah. You can dance. Huh? Makes you feel awesome. You're like, yeah, I'm badass. Gives you an ego boost. Riding the pink dinosaur. Yes, I've been to outer space. Through out-of-body experiences. The same way Scientology experiences it. They allow me to experience it and then stop. I think they destroyed my biology. They did something. So I can't experience it anymore. Not much. My biology's got destroyed. My upper dimensional biology has been cut into a million pieces. I'm getting off track. So this wireless technology, I'm being assaulted. Please stop. It has the ability to artificially stimulate brain and central nervous system tissue. As I was saying, isolate memories and thought patterns. Yes, I'm being spoken to. I'm also stoned. I smoked some marijuana because I needed to calm down. I'm being killed. I'm stressed. It helps me explain this issue better, believe it or not. So this artificial stimulation, it's also this energy, it's electricity. First off, what I have experienced when I was artificially stimulated by this technology is an endorphin response. They ran energy through my nerves and I released endorphins. It is a very pleasurable effect for a little while. And then it also elevates biochemical processes because your glands and your digestion, your endocrine system, and your neurons, your brain tissue, and nerves are being stimulated. It elevates neurochemistry. It forces our neurons, our neural synapses, to produce neurochemical electricity, or neurochemicals. Got my brain somewhere else at the moment. I'm watching this guy set up on me. I might have to run. So it elevates neurochemicals, such as dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin, and they can even elevate oxytocin levels and other neurochemicals. And it also elevates their hormones, such as testosterone, estrogen, growth hormone. It has a narcotic-like effect upon the user if utilized correctly. Now, some parts of our brain produce more neurochemicals, more neurochemistry than other parts or other nerves. So we get dopamine in the brain and sleep chemicals. Scientologists covet this area of the brain. It allows them to drive. It allows them to be conscious, and also is part of our extra-dimensional biology. It is having an extremely narcotic-like effect upon these people. I think some of them are also abusing substances. Please stop. They're driving a parasite. Death threat. I just got a death threat. So this technology also allows them the ability to drive surrogates. It gives them the ability to drive other organisms that are not their own. They can drive anything living, even viruses. They can even drive a virus. They can drive humans, animals, insects, worms, cats, dogs, birds, hippos, giraffes, elephants. They can drive anything. Anything that's alive, and then some things that are not alive, such as nanotech, robots. They can drive those too. This has led to the creation of Wartech, a biological weapon. Parasites or bad organisms, which can be driven through the biology, the human body, and utilized as a weapon. big worms with teeth. Parasites. They call it Vortex. They have poisoned me with it. Please stop. So Scientology, I don't have the evidence to conclude where the origins of Scientology come from. There have probably been surrogates on the planet for thousands of years. It looks like somewhere on the timeline, a neural technology was developed. People started stimulating brain tissue, and they experienced some things. And then it went back in time. It transcended time. That's one hypothesis. Another is after the world wars we started, or during the world wars, we started experimenting on people. Yes, I'm unsure of the origins. And it led to Scientology. Getting harassed. They harass people badly. So there's the Church of Scientology. That's what I'm trying to talk to them about. Yes. Hubbard and Miscavige and Tom Cruise. And then there's the free zone. The rest of the population that practices, that utilizes Scientology's alien technology. That's what Scientology tech is. Alien technology. Extra-dimensional technology. These people are not affiliated with the church, but they are practicing Scientology. Yes, we can tell an alien that does this stuff. So there have been a lot of bad things happen within the Scientology community. First off, they condition themselves to mess with body parts. They remove body parts for a living. They literally cut body parts off for a living. That is the field of study. It is a amputation, modification, transplant technology or technique. They condition themselves to do this. It is harmful. They don't see it that way, but it's harmful. I'm a Nunnakai. But aliens are weak, feeble. They can die easily. Well, some of them can. Well, I won't say easily. In a Nunnakai land, yeah, it's easy. Nunnakais are built like tanks. I guess I'll explain that in a moment. I gotta keep track. Yes, I'm sick. So Scientology has created this criminal enterprise. People using alien technology to control the population, to control the world. They're trying to take over the world. It is an exploitation ring. So people use this technology to exploit people. If you have any kind of power or influence or authority, or you have a job that they desire to control, they may force you to assimilate. They may practice Scientology on you. They may force you to hear voices, control your emotions, or make you see things. They may introduce you to heaven. And then you have to do their bidding. There has been a lot of chaos and strife because people don't obey and they get killed. And it's an common knowledge what Scientology is doing to people. They're trying to redact it and censor it, but it's still there. Can't cover that up. Yes, I hear a lot of voices. People in the intelligence agencies, the CIA, the FBI, the military, even local police. I don't know if in my area, but from a different state, that I have some local police in the hive. Politicians. There's a lot of people, even civilians. There are a lot of civilians here too. I just got a death threat. Oh. So I'm losing track. There has been a lot of torture, kidnapping, trafficking, and experiences akin to slavery. An alien riding your back your entire life, trying to tell you what to do, make you do things. And if they can't control you, they might just straight up turn you into a surrogate. Chop your brain out and drive you themselves. Or however they do it. They have to stop you from driving your own biology to take complete control, which requires integration or substances or damage, brain damage. Yes, they have trafficked humans for sexual purposes and for organ donations. Well, it's blamed on the FBI. They call themselves Skull and Bones, Freemasons, FBI, military. There are a lot of military people here. But they only have one thing in common. There's only one thing they all have in common. Scientology. Aliens. Aliens. I know people may get mad and upset Scientology, but look at the lives lost. Scientology happened and it retarded everybody. We had an awesome genome that, well, I created the ECA, which I'm going to get to in a moment. They take people for sexual purposes. They love entertainment professionals. I've seen a lot of bad shit happen in Hollywood because of what Scientology does to people. It's harmful. Nah, government doesn't take out many people. I think someone made a statement. You can't kill people like this. So they went and killed a bunch of innocent people. Someone started killing people with alien tech, and then another person said, "You're going to do that? We're going to kill these people." What's the difference? So we've been seeing acts of terrorism related to Scientology, at least since the 80s. You're hearing voices this almost time. No, it's not. It's illegal. You're breaking the law. said, I don't know what I did. I've never been a surrogate. For a few moments, I have. I was integrated. Someone integrated me. It didn't last long. I was aware the entire time. I remember it. I remember being driven. I was inside of my biology being driven. And then a few more times, and then something happened. I lost body parts, and they lost the ability to drive. It has to be attached for them to do that. One says not if we do this. Yes, they also make surrogates. They steal biologies for a living. Biological theft. Both from humans and other species. To complete the Scientology process. To complete their alien form. To make an alien. You gotta steal biologies to make an alien. This is away from you. So I got forced to assimilate because of communication on social media. I'm highly intelligent, a Class A personality. I've had a successful career in a very good field. I did okay. As good as I wanted, as good as I needed to be, but I learned a lot. I developed myself well. I became intelligent. I participated in politics a lot on social media. A lot of people do. They follow government officials. They participate in elections and lawmaking, discussion, environmental issues. Please get away from me. They don't stop. And I'm also an author, so I'm part Native American. I am a descendant of Lakota people. Lakota. I write literature and try to create ideas or come up with solutions to real world problems. I wrote a lot. So I wrote Crazy Bird Comics. It's about a Native American hero, superhero. I wrote multiple versions. Some where he's magical, or some where he works with the government, he's military, CIA. The one I finally settled on, the latest one, is just a normal Native American European hybrid. I'm part white, mostly white actually. He tries to save the planet using real world ideas like ending pollution, stopping climate change, just saving the environment. Oil spills, oil and gas is one of them. Actually solves the problem. So any kind of oil spill or oil related things when you get to discuss, there's science around funguses, using funguses to clean up oil spills, and plant life just to soak up the oil, and then we go into discussion like, what is oil anyways? Maybe it was created by aliens as a fuel source, which is likely. But it can also be a food. Maybe it's a food for a species that hasn't evolved yet. Maybe it's some kind of super organism that we could use on this planet or really need. We get to discuss things like that. Yes, I use fungus to clean up an oil spill. That was the first issue. Help help stop poaching, so the killing of elephants and things like that. That has been an issue. Trash in the ocean, trash in our rivers, uh, parasites, viruses. Those are issues that need to be confronted and fixed. Uh, Helping wildlife. Things like that. That's what I settled on. That's what I'm going to do with Crazy Bird Comics. That's Crazy Bird. And then I get to get into Native American lore, which is true. There really are thunder beings. There are organisms in the upper dimension that have a lot of control over our environment. Please get away from me. So that's Crazy Bird Comics. I wrote, also come up with the title Thunder Being, Buffalo Bob. Buffalo Bob is about Crazy Bird getting the name change. I was hoping it might happen one day, but I guess I got to stay Crazy Bird. Becomes a monk and a scholar and a teacher and all this and that. And then I wrote the ECA. So I really want to save the planet. It is not just for fun. Money has led to environments which are harmful to life on this planet, including humans. Yes, there's not enough to go around for all of our purposes. Humans are missing out on basic necessities of life. Resources that allow us to grow and develop into healthy, fully functioning human beings, which is bad because human beings are powerful creatures. We have the ability to manipulate our environment in very intimate and complex ways. We need all of our humans to be healthy and to have good behavior. That's the main reason. I mean, that's number one. They're humans. So we are not getting everybody the resources they need to be good for the environment. So we are left with a very bad environment. Not to mention a lot of these bad humans that have been created are now accessing heaven, the upper dimensions, and gaining that kind of power over the rest of the population. That has also become a problem. So the ECA, it is a new government agency that replaces the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve. Yes, I said it twice. It is a science council. It is also a government agency. It also heads the government. It's the Federal Reserve. I mean, it heads the government. It's a science council. So this council is made up of cabinets that pertain to each aspect of our reality. There is a cabinet for housing, a cabinet for education, a cabinet for communication, a cabinet for healthcare, a cabinet for transportation, Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, so on and so forth. Yes, there's a cabinet for Congress people, or however the government works. There's a cabinet for that too. It's all categorized. So these cabinets consist of people that are trained to their field of study. They're highly trained. They have to be the best we can possibly produce. Very high IQ people, scientists, scholars, teachers, so on and so forth. The best in their field. They have to have a lot of experience. And there's also a morality agreement. So they have to have good morality, which means they are good for the organisms in their environment. Their decisions and their behavior have a good effect on people and other life on the planet or the universe. Yes, you can't go up there and try to take things from people or abuse your authority. You can't abuse authority. It has to be moral. You can't hurt nothing, nobody. Can't hurt anything. Violence is not allowed. No, nor is oppression. Oppression is not allowed either. It is in our best interest for every organism in the universe to reach their optimal potential. And this includes behavior. So that's in education, under psychology. It's also part medical too. Psychological conditioning. All humans need it, and it has to be good, and you got to get it when you're young. Have to have good morals, ideas, and principles. It's part of us developing a psyche. So these cabinets full of scientists, they approve the spending or the creation of money. They use this, or they do this utilizing another invention or idea that I created, which is buffalo dollars. A Native American currency, a currency created by a Native American. This currency can only be spent on approved products and services. And the ECA approves these products and services. They have to meet requirements. So everyone in the world, every human in the world gets a home, a state-of-the-art house. Buffalo dollars will pay for this. And that's how money is created. So you get everything. We get state-of-the-art houses, the best health care that we can possibly produce. Everyone gets a communication device, state-of-the-art communication device that's supposed to last a lifetime. Everyone gets state-of-the-art education. Everyone gets to go get a higher education. In the future, we're probably even going to get transportation, personal transportation. Probably not right off the bat, but the ECA will buy you a car. So you can go to work. Working is still required under the ECA, at least for a little while in your life, a certain amount of life. I don't want people to work for more than 10 years, to be honest. If we can come up with that kind of environment where we can make that possible. However, it's not required you retire. If you want to be a teacher till you're 90 or 100 or 150 or 200, you can be making money. So once a transaction is approved, this currency converts into real money, the money that we use today. It can be spent on anything within the law. And that's how we can create currency based on the best interest of life on this planet. Because right now it's backed by debt. We are removing prosperity and health.